Namaste and welcome everybody in this lecture on Vedic astrology. In this particular series, we will learn how to see Vedic charts. We will try to explore the language of signs, planets, constellations, and various other things. And we will try to understand how exactly the various forces play their part and how they contribute towards interpreting results. So, to begin with, we will be talking about different reference frames. Reference frames are those points from which we observe a particular thing. If we change our reference frame and observe the same thing from a different angle, we will interpret the results differently because we will see the things differently. And that's why we will be defining Lagnas and various Bindus in Bhachakra. Basically, Lagna is a point that is the Uday part of everybody, of every Kundali that we create in Jyotish. And each Lagna is nothing more than a Bindu in a Bhachakra. It's a point in the zodiac. So we will be talking about various such reference frames and various Lagnas. Then we will see who all can influence and in what capacity or responsibility. See, if there are Rashis are situations, Rashis are places where things happen. And perhaps we have discussed previously that everybody has a pattern or a structure of life, at least a formal structure of life, and everybody then chooses or does things in certain manner, and things happen with that individual in a certain manner, and each one has its unique different experiences. So the rashis, the houses from Lagna, these are the situations in which every human being who is born is supposed to have those circumstances or situations. For example, we know that second house is the house of wealth, second house is the house of speech. So every human being is entitled to have these kind of things. It is a different thing that somebody is very rich, he has lot of wealth, and somebody is very, very poor, he has zero wealth, or he is into debts, or somebody can speak very well and somebody is a dumb and he is not able to speak. That is a different thing. But all of us are given a mouth and all of us are given a sense of storage. Similarly, if we go to the fourth house, everybody has a mother, and ninth house, everybody has a father. Fourth house also represents our house, and normal human beings who live in the society, they create their own houses and they live in those houses. And sadhus, those people who have renounced the world, they leave their houses, but still they go and take shelter somewhere, perhaps under a tree, perhaps inside a temple or some other similar place. It is known that, and it is part of their practices, not to get attached to any such physical belongings like wealth, home, and even they give up all their relationships in the world when they are walking on this path of sannyasa or renunciation, but they still have to have some kind of rest, some kind of solace, some comfort. So they also need a house. So these are the things that are there in everybody's life, and they are integral part of any Vedic chart. So these are basically the situations in which we are or we undergo some experiences, or we have some experiences in these situations. And now the next question arises when they are situations, so they must be influenced by somebody, and how they are influenced, and who can influence in what capacity, how they are getting influenced by different entities like planets, grahas, upgrahas, and various other parameters. We will learn many generalized rules during this video lecture regarding Jyotish, which we can freely apply in all dimensions, in all Varga Kundlis, and most of the situations in Jyotish. Wherever there is an exception, there is a meaning to that. But in general, all Jyotish rules are applied and are valid in most of the charts. Gradually and in between, we will be talking about the concepts like Graha Drishti, Rashi Drishti, what is the difference between the two, and how do we read and interpret results based upon the placement of the grahas, the Rashi Drishtis, the Graha Drishtis, the Naisargik Karak Tattva, the yogas, other combinations, placement in different houses, some good houses like quadrants, some bad houses like 6th house, 8th house, 12th house, and some houses like Marana Karaka Sthana. We will be defining each of them as and when we pass them, and inculcate these words in our vocabulary or knowledge. So the first thing that we have to understand in seeing Vedic charts is that we see everything from a reference frame. We see everything from one point, and there are many different points described in Shastras which play important role in building up or contributing for the entire story or the entire picture of the life of a human being. So, and these points that we call bindus are basically some points in Bhachakra which play a crucial role, from where some kind of beginning or some kind of initiation of some kind of energy or force or environment or any such kind of thing will be imposed on the life of human being or will come into play from these points. So, to give first of all the importance of the reference frame and points, the entire outlook for an event changes the moment we understand its context and its meaning. The differentiation is created by reference frame, from where we are observing something. For example, we are watching Ram Leela, and during the Ram Leela, there is one episode of Sita Haran that takes place. The demon king Ravan comes in and forcefully takes away Mother Sita. And so when we are watching that Ram Leela and we are watching an act, we are watching a play that is going on, for sure it represents our history. It represents Ramayana, what the story was all about, the Sanatan Dharma, and things associated with that. It represents all those things. But for the moment, when we are watching a Ram Leela, it is a drama, an act going on. So, if somebody is watching this Ram Leela, he would not jump to the stage to stop this lady getting kidnapped by Ravana, because we understand it. We are seeing it through a reference frame. We are seeing it through the reference frame of a drama going on the stage, and not something actually taking place in a life. It is for sure an event of past. We know that. So we don't go and interfere in that drama and stop this lady who is playing the role of Mother Sita from getting kidnapped by the so-called Ravana on stage. We just sit and we enjoy and we learn and understand. In a similar manner, our outlook will change, or perhaps we will have many different reference frames or outlooks from where we can judge the entire life, the existence of a human being on this planet Earth. And the capacity to analyze these things, these important things in the life of every single human being, was accorded to us by sages via bindus or lagnas. As we all know, the first most important pivotal point that states the beginning of anything uh, is the sunrise, and our lagna is the uday part or the beginning part of our life. So it represents the force of sun god directly in us. It is our vitality, it is our body, it is our existence, and it is the me element that is present in all of us. We have an attachment towards our body, and that is very natural because we are human beings and we come in contact with other human beings via this interface called body. So, this primary interface becomes very, very important for our existence, and this interface is called Lagna or ascendant. In the similar manner, there are many such ascendants or lagnas described in a Vedic chart, which tells us about the beginning or existence of a human being in various different environments of life, or the various different uh, his various different situations in different environments of the life. So, to begin with, we will be focusing initially on Lagna, the ascendant, and Arudha Lagna, the Lagna that represents our entire material existence. We will be talking about each of these in greater detail, but here I have just tried to show the flow of inclusion of different Lagnas in our normal language of Jyotish or in our learning. So we will begin focusing first of all on Lagna, and gradually we will add up Arudha Lagna, and we will see the entire charts taking these points as reference frame and judging and analyzing a life of a human being. Subsequently, we will be talking about Hora Lagna and Ghatika Lagna, but we will try to focus their existence from the ascendant Lagna initially, then we will go to each individual uh, points as complete Lagna, or start analyzing the chart from taking this point as Lagna. I explain this point here utilizing this example chart that we will be utilizing in understanding Rashi Drishti. Here, the ascendant rising, the first house or the Uday part of this Kundli has Leo Lagna, and AS ascendant is written out here. The Lord of the ascendant, the Sun, is placed in the 11th house. And if we do this calculation of placement of Lagna Lord from Lagna, and we count the same number of houses, that is, we count uh, 11 from here and we reach here, and if we count 11 from here, then we reach here. So Arudha Lagna is in 9th house. First of all, we will see the entire chart just based on this configuration of the Kundli, which means that Lagna rising is Leo, and how are the different planets placed. Next, we will be looking at the Arudha Lagna. Where exactly the Arudha Lagna is, first of all, from the ascendant, and then taking Arudha Lagna as first house and then analyzing the things accordingly. What I mean to use Hora Lagna and Ghatika Lagna placement from Lagna is that initially we will just try to see where Hora Lagna is placed, in which axis. In this particular example chart, the Hora Lagna is in 4th house, and it is on the axis of 4th and 10th house, and the Ghatika Lagna is on the axis, is it placed in the 12th house from Lagna, and it is on the axis of 6th house and 12th house. Just to give you the introduction about Hora Lagna, Hora Lagna is the perception of the wealth of the human being. What exactly the perception of the wealth of a human being, how he perceives something valuable, and how he contributes towards generation of wealth via these means, and how he gives value to this entire system of storage and progress and growth and material prosperity. In the similar manner, the Ghatika Lagna shows the power, the influence, the capacity to exert one's point with assertion, and to have some kind of control in this world. That is the perception of Ghatika Lagna. So, in an example, now Lagna is Leo, Arudha Lagna is in Aries, and Arudha Lagna is in 9th house, Hora Lagna is in Scorpio sign, and Ghatika Lagna is in Cancer in 12th house, Hora Lagna is in 4th house. After that, we will be adding one very important reference frame, or the parameter of understanding a human being, is taking Atmakaraka as a Lagna. We will define all these things in very great detail when we will be talking about them. But here it's just the flow of knowledge that I want to maintain. This flow is explained here. Then after understanding Lagna, Arudha Lagna independently, we will be mixing up the two, Lagna and Arudha Lagna, and keeping the Hora Lagna and Ghatika Lagna placed according to the Lagna. After that, Atmakaraka as Lagna, and subsequently we will be talking about Paka Lagna, that is Lagna Lord as Lagna, Chandra Lagna, Shri Lagna, Varnada Lagna, Pranapada, etc. etc. Once we have done all these things, then and then only we will try to venture towards Graha Arudha of Lagna Lord as Lagna for the moment. Okay, so if we follow this flow, first of all pink color things, then all orange color things, then blue color things, then all black color things, and finally the red one. If we acquire the knowledge and utilize the knowledge in this manner, then we will be able to appreciate all the things subsequently. Otherwise, we'll end up mixing up many things and getting confused and confusing everybody. So when we after these presentations, as we discussed in our Facebook groups or WhatsApp groups, so you should always try to remember this flow in your mind, and not to get mixed up too much, or not to get too fancy about some particular aspect. Give importance to everything. According to Jyotish, utilizing the laws of Jyotish, there is a definite meaning accorded to each of these lagnas, and we cannot use them interchangeably according to our wish. I repeat this statement, that there is a very definitive meaning accorded to each of these lagnas, and we cannot use them interchangeably according to our wish. For example, we cannot utilize or explain something which utilizing Hora Lagna and Ghatika Lagna only, while that thing has to be explained utilizing Arudha Lagna. So gradually, as we understand the concrete meanings of each of these reference frames or bindus or points of analyzing the Vedic charts, different aspects, how they are contributing or they are told to contribute in the life of a human being, then we will be able to appreciate the knowledge with full happiness.